I just like it seems like, especially right now,
Sound
man.
better?
Yeah, it sounds way better.
Okay.
I was gonna say, like, especially like right now, when like seriously, everything is so crazy right now. Like, I mean, it sounds bad to say, but we really got to capitalize on this shit. You know what I mean? Especially with like the Boogaloo stuff. Yeah,
We have to
good.
profit off tragedy. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we'll start it. Welcome to Bread Circuses.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's been a little bit, like we said last time. Life's crazy for everybody, so we're pumping them out as quickly and as often as we can.
Yeah, I want to remind everybody that I have a 2.5-month-old baby at home. So
2.5 years.
A 2.5-month-old baby. Yeah. Excuse me.
No, you're
I didn't,
good.
dude. She didn't go to bed till like 2:00 in the morning last night.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Neither did I, but that's because I'm a degenerate.
Yeah,
so.
She's just a baby. She doesn't know any better.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's fucking rough.
It's crazy too, man, because so much stuff has happened in the last couple weeks. Since
we've had a year's worth of shit.
Yeah, literally, dude. Because the last time we did our show was right when the George Floyd stuff happened, but none of the protests had happened at all.
No, not when, and we actually had to cancel our last one because of threats.
Really?
Toward it. No, remember the last episode we were going to do last week?
Mm-hmm.
We wound up canceling it because there were threats being made toward someone close to me's home and that general vicinity. So I had to be on standby because all of the police in Omaha were in one location. So if shit popped off, I was going to have to be down there with a crew of guys armed to the teeth in like less than 20 minutes. So
yeah, like we, you know, obviously we have listeners that are kind of all across the country right now, and if you're in a major city in the US, you're probably dealing with your own stanky brand of like what's going on right now, like riots. Maybe not even necessarily riots, just because I don't think the riots are as crazy as maybe not except maybe in Minneapolis, where like they've actually burned down like multiple buildings. But
yeah,
like especially in Omaha, like people were pissed off and they broke out windows and stuff, but it takes like 3 people to break windows down the street. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They've set a couple dumpsters and cop cars on fire in Omaha though.
Yeah. But dude, Omaha is rioting though, which is crazy.
Not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. But like last week they were, when this was going on, like when we were gonna do our episode, Omaha was straight up rioting, dude. Like
so
Omaha, Nebraska.
Omaha Friday. It started off as a peaceful protest, and from what I had a stomach bug, so I was not there. I was at home. I had nothing to do with anything that happened. Not Corona. But last Friday, I was watching the video, and so the protesters walked into the street, which I understand is illegal. But from the video,
the cops hadn't they already blocked off the street though?
No.
No, they hadn't. Okay.
The video I saw, Oppd opened fire with tear gas as soon as they got into the street.
Oppd?
OPPD. Yeah, I know, right? Someone did write fuck Oppd.
Which, I mean, they're not wrong.
On the side. I know, right? Keep raising my fucking rates, jackasses.
They take like 3 days to go fix a power line, man. Like,
right, yeah. It's like, I'll be fucking my power will be out for a week.
Oppd is not the police force in Omaha. Oppd is Omaha, what is it, Public Power District?
It's like the utility company.
Yeah, it's the Omaha City Utilities with like the electric, yeah.
Yeah, it's but so it Oppd fucking shot tear gas. I know this doesn't sound ideal, and it sounds like you're letting lawlessness rage. They should have let them take the street.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you're talking...
They could have just blocked off the street because they did anyway.
Exactly. You're talking, okay, we got to shut an intersection down for a couple hours versus violent riot. Like, what would you rather have? Just let them take the fucking street. It's a small, it's a small loss for not having 3 days of chaos, which is what it turned into. Yeah,
like people only started rioting, not going to sugarcoat it. People started rioting after the cops got violent with the protests, because actually, and I don't even know if it was a lot of the protesters, but because there was a lot of people, like there was a ton of people at this rally. Basically where they were at in Omaha was an intersection where there's essentially an abandoned mall. Yeah. It's like a mall that's like, and a Target. And so there's this huge ass parking lot there usually doesn't have as many cars and as it should. It's usually empty, right? So these guys are down there towards the close of the day, and they've been protesting there all day. And you know what probably happened? There was probably like 12 people that went on the street, and then the police are just like, "Oh fuck!"
No,
dude,
there were quite a few people on the street.
there
were.
Okay.
But yeah.
How many though? Like enough?
I mean, you're probably 30 to 40, enough to cause a
Okay.
major traffic hazard.
Okay.
But I mean, and then Saturday, the people that went out. I mean, Friday it was a peaceful protest that broke through. The people that went out Saturday went out prepared for a fucking war. It was organized. You had fucking people from out of state getting arrested. So what does that tell you? It was. I mean, they were not out there to protest. It was let's break shit, because that's exactly how it started. You had black masked people. What does that tell you? Omaha, and let me tell you something. Omaha Antifa is a joke. There's about 6 of them. Half of them get winded walking up a flight of stairs. 2 more of them probably don't know which fucking bathroom to use when they go out. And then there's like the ringleader. Like, so Omaha Antifa. So there were definitely outside provocateurs in. I don't give a shit what anyone says. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's me fucking living here and knowing what I know.
Well, how hard is it to drive in a SUV like 8 dudes?
Not at all.
Yeah, to me, like, how hard would it be for me and you, or I guess if I still lived in Omaha, for me and you to go down to Kansas City, and me and you can start fires in some buildings at nighttime and get away with it. You know what I mean? Especially when there's chaos going on.
And
like,
just leave town.
That's what I always tell people, or have been telling people. It's like these protests had like thousands of people, dude. You know how many people it takes to set fire to a building or break some windows or something?
1 or 2.
1 or 2. It takes one person to loot.
To throw a Molotov cocktail.
Yeah, exactly. And it's I find like it's really trying to degrade the actual protests themselves by saying, oh, people are rioting. It's like, no, there's not really that many people rioting, man. No. Like, you look at percentage wise, it's probably a smaller percentage of rioters out there with the protesters than there are like the percentage of like shitty cops that are in a city's precinct. You know
definitely.
what I mean?
I was gonna say that. Yeah, it's but yeah. So Saturday, I mean, people came with fucking artillery shells. Molotov cocktails, bricks, rocks. I mean, just not enough to get you shot by the cops with their rules of engagement, but enough to fucking do some damage.
I still think that first day of protesting too, when they broke them up with the tear gas and everything, they were looking for the fucking
definitely were.
They were looking for anything to break up that protest with. It could have been like 2 people stepping onto the street or something like that, and they would have pelted them with pepper gas. Or, you know what I mean? Like, because you saw like the cops were getting fucking violent with people up there, man. Like, I saw videos of it. Once the chaos broke out, the police lost their shit.
Yeah.
I'm friends with somebody on Facebook, and like she posted the video of like her being out there, and I think she was in the street, but they straight up like booted her and her sister in the chest, dude.
I believe
like when they were sitting on the ground. It's like, you really think that's like even if they were on the street, man, how many does it take to like 2 cops to be like, hey guys, you guys need to get off the street? Like,
right.
It's
no. I believe it. That's the thing, is just fucking brute force is not always the answer. Like, I think it was you that said if you guys treated locals like that in the military, you'd fucking end up in Leavenworth.
Or demoted,
court-martialed.
Court-martialed, something. Like, you would definitely get punishment for doing that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Especially if it was caught on video and brought to the attention of like your unit or something like that, dude. You would be fucked.
Yeah. That's just wild to me that you've got the military has stricter rules of engagement with foreigners, it's in a land, in a part of the world where you don't know who the fuck is ready to kill you. Because I mean, that's the nature of the guerrilla warfare over in the Middle East. They have stricter rules of engagement where anyone at any time could have a bomb strapped to their chest, including women and children. They have tighter rules of engagement than police do with American citizens who are violating traffic rules, or
they have like homemade bombs and stuff. Yeah. Like, imagine if like the protesters in the US were able to get their hands on like 1950s Soviet era fucking grenades and stuff that they could just chuck at the cops. You know what I mean? Like,
or if they're all carrying AKs.
Yeah.
Well, which
they should be.
Yeah,
but
there were some. There were a few Boogaloo boys down in.
Yeah, man.
On
I thought that shit
72nd.
was cool when I would see that on the news about
Yeah.
the people out there defending the businesses and stuff. I
Yeah.
was like, fuck yeah, man. That's what
Yeah.
America's all about.
Well, we were the center of national attention in Omaha with the shooting. Did you see that?
Yeah, the guy that owned the club, the Hive. Yeah, immediately after that happened, dude, I went and vigilante'd, went and left a fucking 1-star Google review on there for that dude being a murderer.
Yeah. Did you really?
I know the place. I know the place is under new management now, isn't it? Like I know the build. So basically, what happened with that was they didn't press charges on the guy, and I heard the guy fled to California.
That's the rumor. I don't know. So did you watch the video that they released?
Yeah, the guy was like, yelling at the protesters from out the window.
He was yelling at them because somebody like pushed his dad over.
And
then
wasn't his dad out there though? Like
his dad was too. So like what I saw, and let me put it this way. I'm not going to defend Jake Gardner's character because I have had the mispleasure of meeting him. And I know people that are very close to him, but I will say I do not think that was a murder. He ran. Ooh, my power just flickered. Fuck OPPD. He ran over. So his dad got blasted.
They should make that into a shirt.
Fuck I think I will. So his dad gets blasted. And whether his dad was right or wrong to be out there, it doesn't matter. He ran over and he's yelling, "Hey, who fucking pushed my dad?" And they start cornering him. He flashes the gun once they start cornering him, which, I mean, 5 guys surrounding you is a threat to your life. Dude jumped on his back and he fired 2 warning shots, which I honestly probably wouldn't have done. And then he shot the guy that had him in the chokehold. So like, I don't think that was a murder legally. Now, whether he went out there with the intent to kill somebody, only he knows
that's where I think he did, because I mean, yeah, you can go out there where there's obviously a dangerous situation, but he went to them. You know what I mean? And
but what I'm saying is legally speaking, they do not have enough to charge him. It would be a waste of everyone's time to charge him.
Well, I heard that they reviewed it and they are going to now.
They're sending it to a grand jury, so he's not being charged. They're going to have a jury review it, and I'm telling you, if that video is the only piece of evidence, I mean, there's not enough there.
They could get people that were there. I'm sure there's plenty of people that were there.
They interviewed the guy that got shot's friends already, and they did not back up the allegations that slurs were being yelled.
Okay.
So whether he was right or wrong to be there, it's his property. And it did carry out into the sidewalk, but he was surrounded. So I mean, when you're surrounded, I don't know what you're supposed to do. I mean, you can't just get beaten to death.
I saw the video, and from what it seemed to me is like the guy went out there and tried to pick a fight with the protesters. And then
they were breaking his windows.
Oh, they were breaking his windows.
They were breaking his windows.
So I guess there you go. You had to be careful about public outcry, right?
Yeah. So some people have been very cautious with what they share. And I will again say that I went into that when I heard that he was the one that shot him. I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I'm sure that was a murder. But no, it was not.
No. What I saw. There you go, I guess. I mean, like, that's like the danger of like when you're out there throwing rocks at people's businesses and stuff, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, of course, if you're one of these people that's supporting all the, out there protesting, and one of your friends gets shot when they're out there throwing, because people are getting angry at each other, and then somebody steps out of line on somebody's property or something like that, and they just happen to be having a gun. Like, I don't know, man. This honestly is an interesting. This particular case is interesting because it's this whole instance of all this stuff happening. Honestly, I think kills every single argument that somebody tries to make that, like, why do you need an assault rifle?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why? Well, I don't know, dude. You've seen these rioting happening across every major city. It's like that could be an instance of why you would need an assault rifle. You know what I mean?
And there were threats to take it to the neighborhoods, just random political violence. You know, well, of course. Why would you not want one? You know?
Yeah. How hard would it have been for a crowd to surround it, like your group of houses or something like that because your neighbor was like a fucking dickhead, right?
Right.
And then they're just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna set fire to all these
Right.
houses. You know, it takes one person to set a house on fire.
Yeah.
If you're not defending yourself, like,
yeah, no, for sure.
yeah.
And that's, you know what this case reminds me of is this shooting is the dumpster defenders.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's like nobody's in the right. Every party involved should not have been there and doing what they were doing.
Yeah,
but
right.
Like, their trial got set back because of COVID.
Huh.
I followed
That's
up
funny.
on it.
They're kind of because they're kind of out of the limelight right now and everything. With everything else.
Oh yeah,
honestly, when that was happening, there was honestly not very much going on around the world.
Not at all.
that was receiving national notoriety, but
no, but it was funny. I saw a fucking headline the other day. It said, heavily armed men in Hawaiian shirts making appearances at protests.
They keep saying heavily armed white nationalists.
Yeah, they're not white
Hawaiian
nationalists.
Shirts. And then like half the dudes are like fucking minorities. You know what I mean?
Like
it's
Hispanic
like,
or black, right?
Yeah, dude. There's plenty of black people that are like the quote unquote boob boys, dude.
Yeah, Maj Touré is one of the biggest ones. He's the fucking founder of Black Guns Matter. Like.
I know plenty of dudes that I was in the army with that are not white that are like profile pictures of them in the boob boy shirts and stuff. You know what
totally.
I mean? Like,
and it's like, and that's the thing is it's like they're trying to paint. I promise you guys, I am in some Facebook groups that I will not name because I'm not allowed to. If people display racism in these Boogaloo Facebook groups, they get shit on and then kicked out. Like, it's not tolerated. Like, there's no 40% of the crime. None of that shit. Like, it doesn't fly. It's not a racist thing. It's definitely anti-government. It's probably, I mean, far right.
I'd say more
even.
I'd say that like they are pretty anti-government, but I mean, like so is fucking the band Black Flag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can't necessarily paint an evil picture on them for that.
No, not at all.
Like, but they're anti-government, but then what scares people is they're pro Second Amendment guys too.
Yeah.
Like they show up to protests with their kits and their assault rifles and stuff, or AKs and ARs, and they just sit there and defend a business so protesters can't come and throw rocks through the windows,
right,
or burn it down.
Not protesters, rioters. But yeah,
right, no, rioters. Excuse me. Yeah, there definitely needs to be a distinct difference said between the two. You can't call the protesters the rioters and vice versa. Yeah,
definitely. But yeah, I mean, it's like the whole Boogaloo thing. I don't know. It's gonna get twisted. That's what it is. That's the reality of it.
You know what's funny about it is I see a lot of like was definitely, I think CNN was the one guilty of it, tried to put like these are white nationalists out there, and then everybody just shit on it. Like everybody knew that was bullshit.
They retracted that. They posted another article talking about how it wasn't a white nationalist movement.
People don't fall for that bullshit anymore, dude. Like people just won't have it though. That's why in Atlanta they burned down the CNN building. Yeah, I know. Dude.
Did you see Killer Mike?
From the Jewels? No, what did he do? I only saw that they released an album early or something like that.
No, so when Atlanta was burning, he came out and was, like encouraging people like, hey, don't fucking burn the city down. You have to live here. You're going to have to rebuild this, blah, blah, blah. And then, he's telling people you're burning down local businesses, your neighbors, your family, your friend zone. And then he goes, he's like, but CNN, karma's a motherfucker.
Yeah, literally, dude.
He's like, you guys have spent the last 30 years fanning the flames, and this is what you get.
I don't think there's a single person that I know in America that didn't just laugh that they burnt the CNN building of all buildings.
Hilarious. The CNN building should have burned a long fucking time ago. Those people are treasonous. And I'm not saying that because I'm a Trump guy. I'm not. I'm saying that because they have fucking deceived and fear-mongered people for decades.
And incited violence, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Or at least attempted to. Like, you could make a whole nother podcast about dumb shit CNN's done over the past 15 years.
Oh, I'm sure there's a Tim Pool video for it.
Oh, I'm sure, dude.
But yeah, I mean, so have you seen the recent one that theory that's floating around?
Mm-mm.
And this isn't,
I've seen a lot
InfoWars.
of theories, I guess. So
So no, so this isn't like InfoWars. This is like floating on Fox News.
A much better source of info.
I mean, yes
Yeah.
and no. It's not as
Yeah.
they're all sensationalists, but so InfoWars reporters got caught fucking setting a homeless man's shit on fire to blame the protesters for it.
Nice.
Very, very much journalistic integrity. But no, so Fox News and a couple other places have picked this up. The theory circulating because this cop and George Floyd worked at the same club, right? So
they did, yeah, and that's like proved. That's proven.
Yeah, they were security. The theory, because that cop was higher than George Floyd, the theory is that there was human trafficking going through that club, and that was a fucking hit. That was a premeditated hit to shut him up. Don't know if it's true. Have no clue. But
that's crazy, dude.
Minneapolis, what I will say, Minneapolis has a lot of how do I say this without getting canceled? I don't give a fuck. Immigrants from Somalia, which is notorious for human trafficking. It would not surprise me to know that was being run through there.
Who knows, man? Everybody, I think it's pretty common knowledge that like there's a lot of human trafficking that goes on in major cities.
Yeah.
Anyway, like dude, Omaha has human trafficking
Omaha's
stuff.
Terrible. Filipino is in Omaha.
Minneapolis would even have, and have even more.
Yeah, Omaha's Filipino, right, for human trafficking?
It's
that's like
Filipino, and then I know it's like Chinese too. There's a lot of Chinese organized crime and Indian organized crime. It's basically East Asian organized crime.
Indian, fun story. I have come face to face with Indian organized crime.
Really?
So I worked long time ago. I was like 19. I was working when I was going to college in a pawn shop in North Omaha, like 50th and Ames, right? This Indian guy comes in with two other Indian guys, and he goes, this letter, I'm not going to use the accent, this letter right here, this letter right here, it is mine. If you do not give me the name of the man who sold it to you so I can go kill him, I will sue you. His exact words. He was going to kill a man over a ladder.
Over a ladder, hell yeah.
That is organized crime. Like,
yeah.
I was like,
is it really that crazy to believe that too?
No,
like,
no,
dude, people, there's like, I especially be with like the Chinese, like they fucking own properties all over the place in the Midwest. They just own buildings, Like how hard is it for them to send people over to
Chinese? So there are a lot, and we've talked about this before. There are a lot of massage parlors in Omaha that do not get used very often and are in weird parts of the city. Would not surprise me.
There's one right by your house too.
Right by my house. There is never anyone there. It's open till 4 in the fucking morning. Blinds are always closed. If you look at the reviews on Google, and you can, it's like there were, it's like the associate tried to touch me inappropriately. It's like set up in like cubicles. It's not full on walls in different rooms. And it's like, who the fuck is sitting there at 3 o'clock in the morning and goes, what hit the spot right now? A massage. Like, why is it open?
People getting off
4?
the night shifts, baby.
Yeah, no shit. We're just trying to,
Dude, when I went to Davenport, because that's where my dad's family's all from, I was driving around there like earlier last year, and I was like looking around like, damn, man, there's a ton of Asian massage places around here. Davenport's ghetto as fuck. Like, yeah, I'm just like, sheesh, man, they're stealing girls out of there or stealing people out of there and shipping them off to Eastern Europe.
And that's what's fucked up is these girls. Yeah, they get like shipped around, and it's not, and they get pimped out. Because I went to one that was, I just wanted a fucking massage one day. Like my back was killing me. You know what I mean? And we went over it on the show before. It was definitely a shady operation, and I heard her go back. And like, cause I rejected her advances twice, and I heard her go back, and some dude's like screaming at her in the other room. And it's at that point I'm like, okay, my gun's in my pile of clothes over there. Cause they make you take your shorts and shirt off. I'm like, okay, my gun's in my pile of clothes over there. If I need to get out, like, what am I going to do? Like, How
And
feasible is this?
I used to get massages pretty frequently, especially after my first deployment in the Army, because like I had a pretty jacked up back from doing that, and I just did that. I paid for that out of pocket so they wouldn't kick me out of the military for back problems.
Yeah.
But yeah, massages are nice, man. So there's a lot of legitimate places.
If you go to, there are legitimate Asian places. I don't want people to think I'm saying that there's no Asian massage spas that aren't legitimate. There's plenty.
This one in particular just was not.
This one was not. The one by my house is not. And I don't live in a bad area. They are all over the place. Like
you live in like a pretty just like regular part of town.
I live in a middle class part of town, basically. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But no, for sure. Like massages, when you're in pain, they hit the fucking spot, dude. Mm-hmm. It's like I went a couple of months ago before everything got shut down, and I got one, and like it got some kinks out of my back that I've been trying to get out for months. Mm-hmm. Like you got to pay $300 to go see a chiropractor for that.
I had a really bad knot, like right in between my shoulder blade and my spine, like right where my plate, like my body armor would sit.
Yeah.
And it was like a knot, like it felt like a corn kernel just like stuck in there, and I had to go and get that massaged out like over the course of like 3-4 months.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah. It took a long time to get that out of there, man. And like I still have like upper back issues a little bit with it. Nothing too bad, but like when I first got back from deployment, man, we were sleeping on mattresses that were like straight up from Somalia, like had like the springs were sticking out of them and shit. And doing that, and then also wearing like 100 pounds of gear every day, walking around out in the middle of a fucking jungle, it's probably gonna fuck your back up.
Yeah, it's gonna leave you with some back problems. Thankfully, like when back problems are the worst things you get out of it, not getting shot in the face. Like,
literally, dude. Fuck yeah, man. Not getting your balls blown off.
So I wanted to ask you this, because you're a veteran. I always see, every time there's protests, I always see this meme going around about how tear gas is banned under the Geneva Convention. Like what?
It's not. I don't think it really is. On that? I don't think it is. I think what it is people. I think they label tear gas as chemical warfare.
Okay.
But I've honestly never researched into it, because I know that we were like, when you go into like a prison or something like that, or like even military prisons, they use tear gas. Like you get tear gassed in the military, like at the gas chamber. That's tear gas.
Yeah.
So it's called less than lethal like stuff that you use. And anywhere you go, it's like, because there's so many different kinds of less than lethal you can use.
Yeah.
It's just in like one area, your mission might be that, that there's a really big threat of rioting going on. Like say if you're doing, what is it? The building that the Marines are always in countries, the consulate or whatever, what's it called?
Is it the consulate? Is it
whatever
embassy?
The embassy. If you're on embassy duty, say in like the middle of Somalia, right? Yeah. You probably don't want to shoot at people that are protesting.
Yeah, like Benghazi.
Exactly. Yeah. You probably are going to want to have something like riot gear and like tear gas to be able to disperse crowds.
Yeah.
I've never heard of tear gas being illegal. Like certain chemical warfare is illegal, but like not. I've never heard of tear gas.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I've never heard of.
I love it
tear gas being illegal. Like they literally tear gas soldiers in basic training. Like,
right. Like, and I'm definitely, like, we've just established that I'm far from, a bootlicking authoritarian, but I always laugh when I see that meme going around about it's chemical warfare. I'm like, bro, you're trying to put it on a level with like anthrax and
with
the shit
sarin
Saddam
gas.
was doing. Yeah. And mustard gas. Like, it's not. It's not,
man. It's I honestly, like, I've been tear gas before. I don't think tear gas is like the worst thing. I think getting shot in the face with one of those rubber fucking,
that's way worse.
They're seriously steel balls with rubber around them. You're supposed to employ those by bouncing them off the ground, and these fucking dickheads are shooting people right in the face with them. Like people have lost
are going
eyes.
Fucking blind. Yeah.
You could literally get shot in the finger with that, and it would fucking like break your finger off basically. Like you would lose a finger or something getting hit with these things. Yeah. And it's like, dude, that kind of stuff I don't like. If the worst thing that happens is you get some tear gas, and like Nah, man. I would rather get tear gas and get shot with one of those fucking things any day, dude.
Yeah, I've seen the rubber bullets. They're fucking massive.
They're like golf ball, or
Yeah.
not, maybe not golf ball.
No, they're
size,
like
but
tennis ball size. They're big.
yeah,
Sure.
you're supposed to bounce them off the ground. Like,
Are you?
yeah, you're supposed to shoot them at the ground, bounce them off, and like hit people in like the knees and stuff, or like below the knees with them. You're not supposed to shoot people in the fucking face with them.
Yeah.
Like these fucking cowboys are doing out there.
Yeah. And
Like there's so many videos too of the police officers using like mace and stuff, like just like walking down and just spraying people like that are already been detained, or like people that are just standing on the road like not doing anything. Like
what happened before the camera came on though?
It's like, it doesn't matter.
I know
It
three
doesn't
cops
fucking
are
matter.
holding. I know 3 cops are holding a 75-year-old woman to the ground while the other kicks her in the head. But you don't know what happened before the camera came on. Okay.
Let me just tell you this from
I
personal experience. If I would employ some less than lethal on somebody that was already fucking detained,
yeah,
you know, my ass would get an assault charge, and
Yeah.
like I would be doing like extra duty or something. Like,
Yeah.
and that shit sucks. Like,
So, do you think Trump gets reelected?
I don't know, man. If fucking Joe Biden wasn't the one running against him, I'd be like,
right?
hell yeah, dude.
I know, right? Like that's my thing. Is it's like
It
everyone's.
could have been Buttigieg over Joe
know.
Biden.
I know. Everyone's. He doesn't stand a chance. I'm like, bro. We're in a fucking economic recession. We're at the bottom of an economic recession. It might get a little bit worse, but I don't see it getting much worse between now and November.
Yeah.
The world is on fucking fire. You've got a pandemic. You know, relations with China are at an all-time low, and Biden's only beating him by 7 points in the polls. The battleground states are all like 1 or 2%. It can only get better, which means those numbers are only going to go up. Like, you guys are running the worst candidate possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
literally the one candidate out of like that was running besides maybe like Kamala Harris that nobody want. Like, dude, people
Elizabeth Warren. I think Trump would have taken Warren to the cleaners.
You think so? I don't know. I think they could have ran Warren over Joe Biden and still had better chances than Joe. Like, nobody fucking likes Joe Biden.
No,
literally nobody.
They
like,
took
at least with Hillary. People.
You had
like,
a woman.
There was some,
at least she was a
people
woman
that liked Hillary. There's nobody that likes Joe Biden at all.
No, nobody at all. You know, except his underage pimps.
Yeah, they should have ran Yang Gang, dude. They should have ran Andrew Yang.
I think Andrew Yang, talk to me in 8 years and you might see a better, like, that's more realistic, I feel like. I think
they just got to run two old fucks against each other to appease the old fuck people that run the country. Like,
right. I feel like Andrew Yang could make noise in Congress. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be worth a shot, you know?
I certainly know that there's plenty of mayors and governors that are going to get elected the fuck out of office. Like
Michigan's governor's gone. Stothart's gone.
Gene Stothart is fucking gone, dude. Like,
that increasing the curfew after 3 days of nothing. She signed her ticket out of office.
People, like, if you had no opinion about Gene Stothart before, she gone, baby. She gone.
I mean, how do you unite the right and left against you?
Literally.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. That's you're gone, dude. Like,
she basically declared herself God. Like, I can lock
and then
you
that
in
whole
your
thing
home,
with the
whatever.
Korean characters in the name, like,
oh
dude,
my God,
that sentence.
And then I love how her legal team thinks that's like that they can just come out and declare them a troll. Like, no, my legal team designated them a troll. I'm like, I don't think troll like holds up in court, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, I don't think a legal team has the authority to declare that or not. Like, they can have the opinion, but I mean, so can I. So
right, yeah. I mean, you could say, yeah, this person constantly trolls me, but don't go out, because that would be more respectable, honestly. If she would have said, look, this person's constantly trolling my shit, and I'm sorry, I let my emotions get the better of me, and I talk shit. That would have been the right thing to do. Not my legal team said this person's a troll, and then
not double downing. Your legal team can't recognize Korean characters. Right. Get a new fucking legal team,
your
jackass.
Fucking lawyer? Like, who's your fucking lawyer?
I honestly encourage people to, like, I won't encourage people to go out and vote for the national, because, like, honestly, who fuck cares if it's Biden or Trump? They're both terrible. They're both terrible, dude.
Yeah.
Like, but go out and vote in your local elections. Like, go vote out your shitty mayor of Minneapolis. Like, go vote out your Gene Stothert. Just go
The
vote him
governor
out.
of Michigan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
one vote has a lot more say
In local
that.
politics, way more.
Yeah. Dude.
Get Stothert out. You know, get the mayor of Minneapolis out. Get the fucking governor of
Trump
Michigan.
didn't put the curfews, like, that was all her, man.
Yep.
And honestly, I think it was Gene Stothert too that was telling the police force, like, hey, the first sign you get of this going crazy, you take him out. You know what I mean? That was probably all her.
Yeah, no, that would not surprise me at all. That's why we got to vote Bill Queen for mayor.
Honestly, no, though. I don't think the mayor of Minneapolis is going to get voted out over this, because I think he handled the situation really well, to be honest. Maybe they can vote the police chief out or something. Or
so that's the thing, is the police chief isn't an elected representative. He's appointed. Mm-hmm. The sheriff would be, but they don't have issues with the sheriff up there. Mm-hmm. So did you see they voted in city council to disband their police force?
I did, and I think that's awesome, dude.
It'll be interesting. Here's my
enforcement doesn't have to be handled by an all-powerful demagogue
that can't be voted out. No, there's no representation. Absolutely.
Yeah. At least a private security company can be fucking fired. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. Yeah, private security companies and sheriff's departments, because if the sheriff fucks around and he gets caught on video, he's voted out. He doesn't have to wait for somebody else to fire him. Exactly. He represents the people. The people are represented. But I mean, and if anything, really, that's the one. If you had to pick one position to be held up to a democratic election, it should be the fucking head of the police.
Exactly.
Like, that directly correlates with how, with interactions with citizens, with your daily life, and everyone's, it's the wild, wild west. I'm like, bro, the wild, wild west wasn't as wild. Like, yes, there were gangs, but like,
there's gangs now.
Yeah. There's gangs are way worse now.
Yeah.
The cartels make, fucking the bad guys from Tombstone look like choir boys.
Literally. Cattle rustling, I think, is a lot less crazy of fucking human trafficking crimes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, that's way more evil.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, everyone was armed, so people really weren't fucking dicks to each other, because they knew they could get popped off, for mouthing off. Like, it's
what were considered really dangerous, actually, in the Wild West were border towns. Yeah. Like El Paso was known to be really dangerous, but that's because if you killed somebody, you just go across the border. You know what I mean? So like somewhere up in like fucking, Colorado or something like that. Yeah, it really honestly overhyped as to how crazy it was.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's it wasn't. I mean, there were definitely bad parts, but there's still bad parts.
There's bad parts.
You wouldn't go to Detroit
now.
at night. I wouldn't go to Detroit in the day. Exactly. Certain parts of it,
Yeah.
Like, so it's not real. Like, I know it's glorified in the movies and shit, but it really wasn't as wild as they make it sound. And there definitely should be. I agree. With
the actual organizations of the police are just too hard for them to hold accountability of themselves.
Unions
and all that. Honestly, like, I think you could maybe keep police forces, because honestly, I'm not anti-police.
No,
I'm not. There's a lot of really, and I'll meet the other people halfway. Like, there are a lot of really good cops and everything, and there are a lot of police officers that are good people. I'm not saying there are, but I'm saying there's a lot of them that aren't, and they don't get held accountable for their actions. They don't. It's been shown time and time again across the country that they don't. Even in Omaha itself, that dude, that Native American guy that got murdered by the cops
with the taser. Yeah. They just had a walk for him the other day. 3
of them are back on the force. One of them didn't go to jail at all. Like,
he
just you kidding me, dude? He did that in the Army. You'd be in fucking Leavenworth, dude.
Yeah, exactly. That's but no, exactly. And it'll be interesting, because there are people that, like, I feel like the defund the police thing is misleading. I don't think they actually want to get rid of cops, but there are people that do want that. And of course, that's just morons on the internet. And ironically, the people that truly do want the police gone are the fucking 95-pound soy boys that would honestly last about 10 minutes in the world with their home.
Yeah, like, what do they think is going to happen? That nobody now is going to be there to, like, protect like a lady that they're fucking creeping over or something like that. Like like what Minneapolis did, right? They ended all their so now it's not the police that are out there at the sports events and the schools.
Sheriff, right? Yeah.
And it's like, well, now they can just get private security to do
Right.
it, which are a lot easier to hold accountable
They
for
have way
actions.
more accountability. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
A lot of the times, I mean, it depends where you. I mean, if you go through like rent-a-cop services, then no. But like, if you get like real like military contractors,
there's really professional security contracting companies that are out there, dude. Because most of them are ran by and operated by like ex-special forces guys and stuff. Like
the Hilton had them Sunday, Hilton Inn in Omaha downtown, because it was super calm because they busted the shit up Sunday. Like it sounded like you were listening to the fucking scanner on the Marriott. Like it was just cleaning shit up. Like, hey, we need people over to clean this up. Like it got the riots got shut down quick Sunday. And then there was one. It was like, yeah, we have an Asian or Hispanic male trying to get into the Orpheum, intoxicated, saying he lives here. Like, and it's like super quiet. And then all of a sudden it comes over. They're like, yeah, we've got 30 men and plate carriers with AR-15s on top of the Hilton parking garage. I was like, oh shit. But it was like a security force. I thought the Boog was about to pop off. Like they waited and then.
That would have been something.
Yeah, fuck.
But yeah, like there's a ton of these security companies that are out there. Most of them hire veterans, which I know. Like people say, well, there's a lot of veterans in police forces. I mean, like, yes really. And no. Like, probably not enough. You know what I mean? Because like a lot of veterans get out of the military and they're tired of the fucking bullshit from the military, so they just don't. But like even then, though, like you said, like these private security companies that could honestly respond to riots too. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like why does it have to be this crazy police organization that is like a shadowy something from a fucking like movie, like a conspiracy movie or something like that, where they're just gonna be running around the town saying, oh, defend the blue, while we also fucking pepper gas like old women and stuff on the side of the road.
And then like the fucking Buffalo police,
dude,
like that, if that is not the example of how policing needs to be fucking torn down and completely rebuilt, you've got 50 guys. Watch 2 of them beat the shit out of an old man. Not only do they not intervene, not only do they not go to their superiors after it happens, they fucking toe the line and lie when they get called and then get caught in the lie. And then change that lie to another fucking lie saying, oh, he hit us first. If a 75-year-old man pushes your riot shield, I don't think you need to brutalize him, which is not what happened.
I've received riot training, dude. You don't need to do that. No. Like, unless that 75-year-old man is hyped up on steroids and speed
or
and
drugs,
he's armed, which you would be able to see in the video. Like
he's just standing there. Did you see Trump's tweet? And Trump is part of the problem. He's fanning the fucking flames.
He is.
Like the language. Like here's my thing. He knows it too. The word choice you use. Like it, and y'all know I'm not an Obama fan, but Obama could have come out and said, hey, we're with George Floyd and his family, but please don't riot and burn your city down. Very reasonable request. I feel most people are anti-rioting, but we're going to dominate with the military, the most vicious dogs and weapons you've ever seen. Like you're throwing fucking gas on it, and you know that's going to make it worse.
Yeah.
Like, and then he tweets, what's it? Buffalo protester shoved by police could be Antifa provocateur. 75-year-old Martin Gugino was pushed away after appearing to scan police communications in order to black out the equipment. I watched. He fell harder than he was pushed. Could it be a setup?
Yeah, a human being would fucking purposely knock their head so hard that they bled.
Trump's up now. I've pushed a lot of 75-year-old men to the ground, and that's not what they do, okay? The 20 or so I've knocked down, that's not what they do.
Yeah, dude. Like, that guy was clearly, like, a brittle old man, and he gets shoved really fucking hard, man. You know what all they would have had to do was, like, open up the shields, and how you're supposed to do it is you open up the shields, and then there's somebody behind them that detains people.
Yeah.
So they literally just would have had to like break open the line because it wasn't it was literally just one lone guy. And then the cops behind him would be like, look, man, you can't be doing this. Like they wouldn't have even had to fucking handcuff him. But if they
it's not like it's this muscle bound Like,
even if they had to, though, there's a bunch of, like, you saw how many cops were around them there, dude.
yeah,
No, you can't tell me that was like a reasonable response to that. Like, what do they think, he had a bomb on him or something? Like, you're not in fucking Iraq, dude, in 2005. You're in fucking Buffalo, New York, and it's a 75-year-old man at protests that you are going to go fuck up protesters with, and you know that's what you're gonna go do too.
57 of them quit, not because of what they did to the guy and the fact that it was covered up, but because they were held accountable for it.
Yeah, I'm good. I honestly, my mom.
We don't want those people shouldn't be there. That is good.
Me and my mom were talking about it. They said they should not let him come back.
No, they should be
fired.
Probably
will. They probably will, but
they
shouldn't
let
him come back. They should let him. They should not let them come back, and they definitely shouldn't be giving them the benefits that that they're going to get if they get fired. Like, they'll give them a pension the rest of their life. You know what I mean?
Because they didn't quit the force, they just quit the riot force.
Yeah.
So they're still getting paid. They're probably losing a couple G's a year though.
Yeah. Which cops already do get paid like good money.
Yeah, fairly decent.
They get paid good money, not even just fairly decent. Like, they get paid good money, dude.
Yeah.
I'm talking like 60,000 plus, at least in Omaha. I know what police make in Omaha. They make good fucking money doing what they do. There's no, they can't even be like, oh, it's like the army where you get like underpaid privates out there doing this high stressful work. It's like, no, they don't, dude. They get paid fucking good as fuck.
And they have pensions and unions and insurance. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. The fact that these people are out, like those guys are out there like shooting the like teenage girls with like riot weapons. It's like just straight up like malice. Like, they're just out there like just wanting to like shoot guns at people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
they think it's fucking Call of Duty.
Yeah, you can't act like you're over or like you're just morally above everybody. Like, there's plenty of people out there that would jump at the opportunity to go and do that kind of stuff because you're just like, yeah, it's cool, man. It's like playing a video game. Like,
yeah. No,
there's plenty of people that are out there that would do that. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. Yeah. So it'll be interesting for sure to see what comes of it, just all over the country, I think. We didn't even talk about like the stuff that happened in Louisville either with the barbecue guy that got shot.
No, and they had the police cameras off and everything, and then they fired the police chief over it. I'm like, yeah.
If you shut your camera off, that should be tampering with evidence. I don't know how it's not. Because what's the point if you can just shut it off whenever you want?
Yeah, it's like interesting that they fire the police chief, but then they don't like put those other guys. They don't fire the guys that did it too.
No. And that's, I think the frustration is, it's not like people, they got their justice. That's not the point. Like, it's the double standard. Because if you or I, and we're white guys, I'm just talking double standard from police to citizens, not anything about race, nothing like that.
Yeah.
If you or I got caught on fucking video with our knee on a guy's head, killing him, choking him to death,
we'd
be arrested within the hour. They wouldn't show up to protect our house.
I think that it's definitely something that needs to be brought up. It's like, we're talking specifically about the accountability issues because like even if you want to say that it's not a race thing, or if you do want to say it, everything aside, the lack of the accountability is a huge problem because
that's
like what if me and Caleb were caught on camera as bouncers at a bar? Like we're hired security. That's our job. And we have this fucking dude on like a chokehold, and we strangle this dude to death. We could say like, oh, we were holding this guy for the police to come. You know what I mean? Like we were doing our job to do this, and we would still go to at least court for attempt for murder.
And we'd be arrested the same day.
They would
exactly. They would not
require riots to get me arrested.
House. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
We wouldn't have riot police protecting our home. We'll put it that way. Like
it wouldn't require riots to get us to go to jail. Like it would just be another day. Like, oh, we maybe make the news about it, but like, oh, they're currently in custody right now for murdering somebody at the, you know what I mean? Like private security would be in jail.
Yeah, exactly. So, anybody would be.
Exactly. It could be me doing it to any race of guy. It could be a woman doing it to me, dude. Right. The woman would be in jail.
100%. Yeah. 100%. So it's the double standard is where because I mean, I do think in there a lot of incidences it's racial, but
I think there's a lot of data that shows that, like, honestly, I think in like the George Floyd case, right?
Mhm.
I honestly think they didn't intend to murder the guy, but they didn't give a fuck about how they handled him because they're just
No.
like, yeah, it's just another fucking black dude on the street that's high on
Right.
drugs, like,
Right.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, how hard is it for these police that deal with people like that all the time to
Yeah.
just like not just completely dehumanize the people that they're like detaining or whatever?
Right.
Like, they didn't give a fuck, and
Or
that's the problem.
treat them like animals. Yeah.
Exactly. The problem is that they didn't give a fuck
Yeah.
about the people that they were dealing with.
And then there's incidences where it was also in Minneapolis where that guy shot that woman. The cop shot that, it was a white woman. The guy who got shot, remember the guy that was drunk in the hotel and that SWAT team member made him play Simon Says for his life and then shot him on his knees?
Yeah, in Arizona.
No time.
That was white on white.
Yeah.
There was no.
I think the cop was Hispanic, actually. But it doesn't matter. But yeah.
No jail time. The public money paid for his trial and his PTSD he received from it, from the whole ordeal, and he gets his pension the rest of his life.
Yep. Yeah. Shot the guy. Yeah. Duncan Lemp was another one.
Yeah, Duncan Lemp. That
one's really bad.
The guy, the Louisville case where they raided the Breonna Taylor.
Yeah.
That was the wrong deal. The thing in Florida,
and then they arrested the guy for shooting back at them.
Which I heard that they dropped.
They dropped the charges. Yeah,
they dropped the charges.
The judge threw it out. The judge probably saw it and was like, "This was ridiculous."
I saw that the district attorney or whoever was gonna, like the district prosecutor, just dropped the case. They're like,
"Oh,
this
he didn't
is
even
stupid." Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, he broke into his house in plain clothes. Like, what the fuck is he gonna do?
Knock. No knock.
Yeah. And it's like, and they claim they yelled search warrant. But here's my thing. If I'm asleep and my door kicks in, I'm probably not going to listen if I hear you say search warrant. I see guys in plain clothes rushing me with fucking guns. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I'll tell you, as somebody that has done, like, stuff like that, right? Or, like, and received all the training and everything for it. If I was conducting, like, a raid like that, I'd bang on the fucking door because I know we're armed. Be like, hey, we're police, open up, or we're going to forcibly enter the house.
Yeah.
Like, you say it like 3 times, so, and like have it on camera that we said it 3 times so they know, like, if we're, we go into court over this, we're like, no, we let them know that we're police. We let them know we're entering. If they shot at us after this, they knew we were police and they were shooting at us and we had every right to shoot at them, because I'm sure that happens.
Yeah.
But
well, that's, no, go ahead.
I would say, like, what they did was just straight up just being fucking idiots, and they all should have been fired for it. And then the judge who signed off on the search warrant for it should have also, like, been fired too.
Absolutely. Well, that's and there's a bill in Congress right now. They may nationally ban no-knock warrants.
I hope they do. There's no reason.
There's no reason. It gets people killed. It doesn't just get citizens killed. It gets police officers killed and hurt when they don't need to be as well. It's dangerous for everyone involved. And honestly, I don't think it's constitutional.
You know how it goes too is, like, a lot of, like, if they're dealing with, like, organized crime and stuff, if they've got the police in there doing, like, the kind of thing police do, the police, when it comes to investigations and doing stuff like this, it's not being secretive. It's not fucking, James Bond, like they're doing secret work for it. It's like they're like the long tsunami that comes and just wipes everything out. Like, if the police are doing these actions, you don't need to be secretive about it. You're just like, no, we're the fucking police, dude. Like, we're protected by, like, if you kill us, your fucking ass is done. So that most people, if they're doing organized crime, if you're getting to that point where you're being raided like that by the police, you're done. You're done, dude. Like,
well, that's the other, and I talked to my girlfriend about it the other day. Because she was on it's kind of about, on the topic of the search warrant thing. She said, because we were talking about, when cops want to search your shit. And she said, well, if you say no when they ask to search, doesn't that make you look guilty? I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, a good lawyer can get that thrown out immediately because the cop is just going to be like,
the cop will just be like, oh, I just smelled weed. Like,
Well, that's the thing is when they want to, is because cops will use like manipulation. They'll be like, you know, it won't look good in court if you demand a warrant. I'm like, a good lawyer will immediately be like, no, that's her right.
And that's a bad cop.
Yeah.
You can see plenty of dash cam videos of cops doing that, and then you can also see a lot of dash cam videos of like experienced police officers that are good.
Yeah.
Like how they handle it well is they're like, look, I'm doing this because of this. Like I smell marijuana coming from inside the vehicle. I'm going to ask you to step out. If you don't, I'm going to have to go get a search warrant for your car.
Which,
right?
I mean, is another reason why they need to legalize marijuana, because
Exactly.
at this point, marijuana, it's not even about marijuana. It's about using marijuana as because that's really the only drug that's potent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Using marijuana as an excuse to violate the Fourth Amendment. That's what it's about. It's, I want to search this guy's shit. I don't give a fuck if he has weed. If all I find is weed, I'm probably not even going to charge him with it, but I just want to search his shit. They'll
do it too if they smell like alcohol. Like, I mean, because you can tell, like, if there's a drunk driver out there, you can
alcohol
tell
you can breathalyze though.
But and then you can also be like, you reek of booze. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So, like, a lot of times, if somebody reeks of booze and they're drunk driving, they're probably doing some other fucked up stuff too, which is like good. Like maybe they've got a gun in there too, which they probably shouldn't if they're drunk. You know what I mean? Or maybe they fucking have some other kind of controlled substance or something. Not even just marijuana. Maybe they've got something. You know what I mean? Like if they don't have it and they search the vehicle, then whatever.
The thing about alcohol is drunk driving is a crime, and they don't need to search your vehicle to see if you're drunk. They just say blow into this tube. You know,
they're looking for other stuff to charge you with in case there's some other fucked up stuff going on there. I'm sure, like I don't want to sound too bootlicker here or anything, but I'm sure they found some shit off of that.
Off drunk drivers?
I mean? Yeah, I'm sure they found some stuff that like actually shouldn't, warranted that search.
I'm
it's
sure.
Probably better that they did the search than not.
My thing is, I have no problem taking drunk drivers off the road.
Yeah,
that's what there's a lot of people that do. Doing,
yeah,
except drunk drivers. That's what they should be doing, is taking drunk drivers off the road. You know, pedophiles off the streets.
Stuff like, I don't have problems with stuff like DUI checkpoints and stuff at night. I actually like those. I think they keep the streets safe. You know what I mean?
DUI checkpoints I'm not cool with, but if they see someone that's drunk, then that's fine. I think
you know
DUI,
what I mean. But
DUI
the thing is like
sometimes
reactionary stuff to that though doesn't stop somebody from getting killed by a drunk driver. You know what I mean? Like,
so I've read a statistic. DUI checkpoints, it's like less than 1% of
really
actually, drunk drivers. But my thing with that is more of a constitutional thing because it assumes guilt. Because, it's innocent until proven guilty. Whereas a DUI checkpoint, you've done nothing wrong. All you did was pull off to an intersection. Oh, you're not committing a crime? Blow into this tube and prove it. That's where
most DUI checkpoints, though, they don't just have you everybody blown to the tube, though, because it's expensive to use the breathalyzer. They'll just like open up the window, be like, hey, how's everything going? And they're like, yeah, we're doing good, officer. They're like, okay, cool, yeah, go on.
Yeah.
And I think that stuff like DUI checkpoints is more of like, that what's the number one thing for security is just like presence prevents the actual crime. Yeah. So like if you know that there's a DUI checkpoint out there, maybe it hinders like the one or two guys out there from driving drunk. You know what I mean? Taking out that stop sign. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. That's before we go, we did our first comedy show because we done like over an hour.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, how'd that go, man?
It was good. So like we weren't sure. I said it's either going to be a ghost town or it's going to be packed. It was about halfway through. It was about half full. So
that's about it's better than nothing, man. It's better than 2 people showing up. Did you guys have maybe 20 people show up or?
About 20 people. Engaged audience, which I'll take 20 people who are engaged over 200 people that are just there to chuckle.
Honestly, I would say 20 isn't a bad crowd at all for a bar.
No.
It's a decent crowd.
Especially because of curfew. So there was a lot of people thought it was going to get canceled. And then they push the curfew back. They get rid of the curfew, and we still got to stay. And now I'm doing comedy in fucking daylight, which doesn't feel right. We pushed the start back from 6:30 to 7, but it was supposed to kick off at 9. So and that's the other thing is in the future, I don't think that I will, or I don't think that we're gonna keep booking 7 comics. I think 4 or 5 is the magic number.
I feel 7 is kind of a lot.
I feel bad for
isn't doing so good. It's like, fuck, man. Now I gotta sit through
15 minutes.
Yeah, I gotta sit through 15 minutes of this guy, dude. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, no, that's my thing. Is I feel like when you watch these, I feel bad for the headliners because they're seasoned, their experience, they're the top name on the card, and then they go out there and half the crowd's left, or they're out for a smoke, or they're talking,
or they're just straight up,
not
they're just straight up
engaged,
not
they're
engaged
tired.
because
I feel bad for that. So I think we're gonna revisit it, and it's all a learning experience. It was just nice to do fucking comedy. I didn't care if there were 2 people in the audience.
If you can find 4 people that are good at it, I think like people like the blue collar comedy tour guys, right? They've kind of discovered that just like 4 dudes having like 20-minute sets or 4 dudes with 30-minute sets, like that's a lot better than 7 guys with 10 minutes and like one of those guys maybe not being good or something like that,
Yeah, no, because it's tough. And what really sucks is if you get a crowd that's burnt out, because when we did Pie Fest, there were like 20 comics on that card, and the crowd's burnt out. Thankfully,
I can guarantee you not all of them were making people laugh too.
No. And I mean, we had thankfully people coming in and out because it was a free show. We just got paid off the bar, and we had a solid influx of traffic. But yeah, I mean, it was brutal to sit through the whole thing because I was a promoter, so I had to sit the whole fucking thing.
Even some of the shows I've done, man, like I've just been like, all right, like I opened for these guys, all right, cool. Now I gotta sit through like 2 dudes that I know aren't gonna be very funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so
that's the hard part is fucking is following somebody who bombs.
Yeah, it
following
really is.
Somebody who bombs, because you have to hope that the host can go out there and in the 30 seconds that they're going to be up, get that crowd back. Otherwise, the first 2 minutes of your set are gone. Like either first 2 minutes of your set are a wash. You're going to have to get them back into it. And that sucks. Like, cause you have to change your whole, it blows. So that's
well, I'm glad that you're learning it as it go. Like you're turning into a good booker, it seems. So,
I know.
Which is kind of like what you said you wanted to do. So.
Yeah. That's my thing. It's like, I'm committed to, we actually, so the cool thing was we had a documentary team there that's filming a documentary on underground comedy. Wallman Brothers Productions is the name of it. They are located here. It is their 3-year plan is to have full, I want to say like 10,000 square foot studio built to produce music, podcasts, and movies in Omaha.
Wow, that's cool, man.
Their goal is to make us the Hollywood of the Midwest. And I think that's super cool. We need more people that are committed to Omaha. And that's my thing. It's like right now, it's like I don't have my eyes set on, okay, I'm going to get kind of famous and then bail to LA. Like I'm focused right now on making Omaha good.
It's funny because like here in El Paso, there's like one comedian in El Paso that like I see, and it's like one guy. I'm like, oh man, that sucks, dude. Like,
Have you been to any yet?
I haven't got a chance. I was here for a month before the quarantine started, and like even then, I'm like, I got a baby, dude. Like at 9 o'clock at night, I'm fucking bathing a baby and getting her to bed, and hopefully she gets to bed before 10. Not able to get out and do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure.
I'm probably not going to be able to do anything like that for like a couple years, to be honest. Like,
that makes sense.
Which it sucks, but it's like the comedy scenes will be there 5 years from now. You know what I mean?
It might be bigger.
Maybe.
There's a lot of talent leaving LA and New York right now. The talent leaving LA, Texas and Denver sounds like where they're going. New York, fucking up in the air. Could be South Carolina, could be Florida, could be Omaha. Who knows? Like,
I don't want to be one of those guys that like, you know what I mean? Like I stayed it and did the fucking comedy scene. 5 years from now, I'm a pretty successful comic, but then I'm like, yeah, dude, I had to give up a wife and I don't have a relationship at all with my kid because I decided I like some people might want that. I don't want that.
That's a misconception though, is that, you don't get to see your wife. Like there are plenty of comedians that will travel, but they see their wife and kids plenty. You know what I mean? It's
not impossible, but I think if you're coming up though, it can be kind of hard. Like it can, especially when I got a newborn baby, like, and not even that, but like when we were moving and everything, it's like, you have to put in you and I both know you have to put in a ton of work when you're coming up. Like when you're hustling and bustling, that's exhausting.
Right.
So I don't want to not have a relationship with my daughter because of that.
Totally get that. No, that's totally respectable. Yeah. I mean, you got a kid, you gotta do what's best for that kid.
Exactly.
So
not trying to hate on the people that did, you know what I mean? Hey, you sacrificed it, man. I hope it was worth it. But like,
and again, Dave Chappelle, great relationship with his wife and kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Kevin Hart, besides the wife he cheated on, great relationship with his current wife and kids.
Well, look at like Bill
Joe
Burr,
Rogan.
man. Bill Burr talks about like he lost tons of girlfriends when he was coming up because like they'd be pissed that he was driving off into another city for shows or something.
Yeah, that's why you got to get one to go with you. See,
Yeah.
our goal is to have get to a point where Mia can just do booking for me.
Ah, that'd be cool, man.
So yeah, I mean, we'll see. But I mean, Joe Rogan, great relationship with his wife and kids. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. I'm not saying that you have to sacrifice that.
No.
But it's mainly, and it's not my wife. It's mainly just because we have a baby. Like we have a newborn baby.
Totally get that.
2 months old. It's really hard to do anything, let alone do comedy shows. Like sometimes I don't even get a shower in a day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
and that's the big thing is having a significant other that's supportive of you, not just like tolerates it, but like support, not like just can stand it and deal with it, but supportive goes a long fucking way.
I think when Anna went to the one Christmas detox show that we went to, that really showed her like what we were doing was like was real. You know what I mean? Because like I'm sure there's been plenty of girlfriends out there that have been like, yeah, my fucking shithead boyfriend that like thinks he's in a band. He goes and plays a show for like 2 people. It's like, no, man, we were doing comedy shows. We do comedy shows for like 30, 40, 50 plus people. Like
100 people at a time sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not stadiums, but it's not nothing. You know what I mean? It's far from, shitbag.
It's a sold out comedy lounge. Like,
right.
So.
Right. And that's the thing is it's like, when you're significant, like it takes a very special kind of, and I won't just say woman because there are female comedians, but who am I kidding? Nobody loves
even gay
comedians.
Well, no, even like gay dudes out there that like have a boyfriend or husband that supports them. Like, it's not for everybody.
It's not. True. And it's, if you're doing comedy and you find someone who will like, even like go to your shows and shit is huge, keep them around. Like, cause it's not common. A lot of people want you to are selfish and want you to give it up for them. I
did a lot of shows. Like Anna didn't necessarily tell me to not do it, but I did a lot of shows that she just was like doing something else or something like that.
And that's cool.
It was, and like, you know what I mean? If you're first starting off doing something, like my Anna's been to more shows than my parents have. You know what I mean? So it's like I think it's natural to be kind of skeptical of somebody for doing something at first. Like you got to kind of let them show that they're being serious about it. Like it's just like natural reaction. Like I'm sure me and you I've personally seen a ton of dudes that like show up to like 1 or 2 open mics, like realize they're actually gonna have to put some work into it, and then they never go back.
Yeah, they'll do that. And I hate the people that bring their fucking friends to open mics. Just like it ain't gonna be that easy, bro.
Yeah, it's not. You're not gonna get some laughs at one open mic and then get like all of a sudden your people are putting you on shows and stuff. Like it's tough work. It's tough work. Even when you're putting on shows, you're always trying to get to that next level, and it's just a lot of work. It really is.
It for sure is.
It's fun work, but if you don't have the motivation to keep going for it, it's just you're not gonna. It's pretty obvious you're not gonna.
I mean, it definitely takes a lot of time. It's like, I don't play video games, I don't dislike video games. I don't have fucking time, I don't like weekends. Like I try. So like my thing is like, there are weekends where I'll have 2 shows on Friday, 2 shows on Saturday. It's part of the fucking game. I make sure like you got to have a balance.
And you work a full-time job and you go to school.
I haven't gone to school in a while, but I know what you mean.
Well, you were when I was still up in Omaha. Yeah. So,
but I mean,
it's a lot of work, man, to do all that and then go to open mics too. That's a lot, man.
You have to make sure though that you're not totally rejecting these other people. And like, I make time for my friends. I make like me and Mia, we will go like to her favorite restaurant or whatever. If I got a fuck ton of shows in a weekend, like that's just like accept the thing. Like you're putting up with me not being there all weekend, so we're gonna go to where we're gonna do whatever you want to do.
You guys, I think you guys kind of had the benefit where you started dating her like while you were doing it, so she knew it's like what she was getting herself into. Which
that
is good.
Was the best thing. I wasn't tackling this new adventure when we started dating. It was like I was already doing it, and I'm like, okay, this is what you're getting. This is what I do. Like, and that's cool. And those are like the relationships that last the longest from what I've observed. is when you're set in what you like to do. So you can't decide, hey, I want to try this one day, and that your partner is like, well, I'm gonna fucking leave if you do that, or I don't want you to do that, and they and it just crushes you. It's where you're both happy and you're both the best person you can be.
My wife, like Anna gets it, because like even before I met her, she was making YouTube videos, and she knows like how much work it is to like just do that kind of stuff.
Fuck ton of work, dude. When I was making YouTube videos, fucking like the 20-30 minute ones, fucking 3 a.m. I was up till editing videos every fucking night.
Same
it is
with her,
hard.
dude. She knows how to use like the really professional, like she does it on the Apple. I'll give her that, but she knows how to use like the professional like program and stuff for it. And I'm like, she would literally be up till like 2 or 3 in the morning. I'm like, baby, you gonna come to bed? She's like, no, I gotta get this video up. I'm like,
it's brutal.
Right. Yeah, it sucks. I get you.
It's brutal. I want to get to a point where I can hire someone to edit shit for me. Thankfully, our videos, there's not much to edit. We just got to throw a beginning and end on and then post it.
You know, the thing about the podcasting that's a little bit different, though, is that because we don't edit it and it's a lot rawer, like if I say some dumb shit, like I got to own up to it. And I spend a lot of our time, my free time, kind of doing research and stuff that I can do for like this show.
Yeah, you don't want to come off as an ass.
Exactly. And if I know, like I think I've shown on the show that if I don't know something as much about something, or I didn't do as much research, I'll admit that like I don't know. Like I'll be like, I don't know, man. Like I just kind of read a little bit about it. But
yeah, it's always good to be able to admit when you're wrong.
Yeah,
it's like, hey man, maybe I'm not right about that. It's okay.
Shit, man, we haven't been
an hour and 15.
Hour and a half, dude.
All right, we should peace out.
Yeah, we should. It's a good show. Sorry that we missed it for last week, guys, but let's say just keep bearing with us through these tough times right here. I know everybody's kind of going through changes and going through difficult stuff right now. So,
yep, it's definitely a lot of shit going on. I apologize for the hiatus. Like we said, life's changed. That's just part of it. We're still doing it. We're not going anywhere. We got a fuck ton of new merch. Thank you to Redbubble for letting us freely sell shit that is at best libertarian merch and at worst anti-government extremism. So go to our Redbubble. My dog has been immortalized as anti-government propaganda.
Hell yeah.
We got more shit coming out soon. So do we want to say anything else?
I don't think so, man. Thanks for supporting us, guys, because we've been doing this for a year and a half now, right? I would say this is a year and a half.
Not a year, not quite. I want to say we start. Let's go. Fuck, I can just pull it up on Anchor right now.
We started like in January of 2019, right?
Let's see. I think that was when we started the idea. I don't think we had everything ready to go. February. Oh yeah, so January. I thought it was March. No, you're right. So yeah, year and a half.
Year and a half, fuck. Man.
That's wow.
Right?
We've gotten more professional. But if you like what you hear, you can just donate us money on Anchor. We don't have the Patreon thing. We should probably get one of those set up.
Remember, we don't like Patreon too.
Oh yeah, you're right.
They're kind of controlling. But
yeah,
I mean, it's whatever. Like money's not the only thing for it.
Anchor, you can
donate right through Anchor. Anchor's a good program or a good company.
And we can buy better equipment. So like we got good equipment right now. My next move, I think we want to upgrade, probably get Nick like a soundboard will be my guess. Like even a small one. Cool, man. And then get like some of these mics. I need new headphones. I might just pay for those out of pocket. Thank you guys. But yeah, if anyone wants to send them to me, like an e-girl, I can make some like sex videos of me jerking off like on my OnlyFans. Yeah, it's like here's my Amazon wish list, and you can just send me shit. Like, can we do that? But for real, dude. So like, yeah, so that eventually I want to upgrade the mics in here. I think that's long term. But yeah, so
thanks for the support. Thanks for the support, guys. For real,
we love it.
All right, I think we're gonna throw up the deuces here. Thanks for sticking with us here. You guys have a nice night. We'll try to get to you next week. All right.
Peace out, motherfuckers.
Deuces.
All right, bye.